14 body language signs a woman is lusting after you. Lust doesn't shout. It whispers through glances, grazes, and perfectly timed silences. We know when we want you, and the body tells on us long before the lips do. That accidental brush. Not accidental. That quick glance downward, she's already imagined the two of you alone. What you'll hear today aren't cliches. They're body codes most men ignore. But high-value men recognize instantly, because when a woman's craving you, it's not in what she says, it's in what she can't stop doing. And the deeper we go, the more dangerous these signals get. Welcome to Infinite Wisdom, your go-to channel for real, relatable advice on navigating the complexities of love and relationships. Sign 1: dilated pupils. You've probably been told to look for eye contact, but that's entry level. What most men don't notice is what's happening inside the eye. When her pupils dilate while you're speaking without any major change in lighting, that's not lighting trickery. That's dopamine. That's chemistry. It's the same surge we feel when we're overwhelmed by a desire we can't act on yet. But here's the problem. Most men will see it and assume she's just into the conversation. That's surface level. What to pay attention to, instead, whether those pupils stay wide when the conversation turns personal, whether they expand when you lean in or hold eye contact just a little longer, because at that point you're not just speaking to her mind, you're affecting her nervous system, and being able to read this, that's a mark of emotional intelligence. Not just for dating, but for reading power dynamics in any high-stakes room. Sign 2: flushed skin or cheeks. You've likely seen it happen but didn't think much of it, that slight blush creeping in when you say something bold, the subtle color blooming across her cheeks or rising along her collarbone. Most men chalk that up to nerves, or worse, assume it's the lighting again. But here's what we know. When attraction hits hard, blood flow changes, the body reacts before the mind catches up. A flush is a physiological response, not a performance. And if it happens after a compliment, a joke, or a stare held just a little too long, she's not flustered, she's responding. This is your cue that you've moved from interesting to unforgettable. And even outside attraction, this signal reveals emotional activation, something you'll want to recognize if you lead, manage, or influence others for a living. Sign 3: lingering touches. Most men have trained themselves to ignore casual contact. A hug normal, a brush of the hand, probably nothing. That mindset is why so many of you miss the obvious. Because when a woman leaves her hand on your arm just a moment longer than needed, or lets her fingers trail when you pass her something that's not etiquette, that's her testing the waters. The body doesn't gamble with touch unless it feels safe. These so-called accidents are often premeditated in the most subtle ways. A graze during laughter, a hand placed on your lower back when she walks past. It's a nonverbal script she's running to see if you'll respond. The real win understanding this touch isn't always about seduction, it's about proximity, trust, and chemistry. Something that shows up in romantic tension, but also in alliances, influence, and unspoken power. Once you learn to clock this, you'll start noticing who really wants to be near you and who's just being polite. Sign 4: leaning in close. You know what? Most men underestimate spatial awareness. When a woman consistently leans in, not just to hear you, but when there's no noise, no crowd, no reason for her to close the gap, that's not formality, that's instinct. We lean toward what we want, we angle ourselves toward where we feel drawn. And no, it's not always loud. Sometimes it's a slow tilt of her shoulder, a knee that points toward you when you sit, or her choosing the seat closer, even when the room is wide open. If this happens again and again, especially when you're not initiating the closeness, you're not imagining it. Her body's gravitating because something about your presence pulls her in. Recognizing this gives you the upper hand in attraction. Yes, but also in negotiations, interviews, even client meetings. People don't lean into things they want to leave. Sign 5: mirroring your movements. There's a reason we connect so easily with people who feel like us. What most men overlook is how the body mirrors that feeling. Literally, if she picks up her glass right after you do crosses her legs, when you shift or starts laughing in your exact rhythm, that's not chance. That's chemistry being played out in real time. Mirroring is one of the oldest subconscious bonding tools we have. Infants do it. Lovers do it. Great negotiators weaponize it. And when a woman does it naturally around you, it's not strategy, it's attraction. Her brain is syncing with your energy. She's aligning herself with your presence, trying to match your vibe without saying a word. And once you spot it, you'll also start using it to your advantage, whether you're managing a room, closing a deal, or sensing who's really vibing with your leadership. 6, playing with her hair. Here's where most guys go wrong. They assume hair twirling is a nervous tic or just idle boredom. But the truth, a woman's hair is one of the most visually expressive tools of attraction. And when she starts adjusting it around you, twirling, flipping, smoothing, it's not about the hair, it's about you. We groom around what excites us, that unconscious need to appear more polished, more appealing. It kicks in when the right man enters the space. Watch for how her hands move through her hair after you say something that hits, or how she touches it more when you're standing closer than usual. It's a subtle cue. Yes, but it's primal. And just as importantly, when that hair play suddenly stops, you'll know the spark's gone or her attention shifted. Because just like presence, grooming is never wasted on what doesn't matter. Sign 7, biting or licking her lips. Most men either read too much into this or worse, not enough. They see a woman biting or licking her lips and either think she's being seductive on purpose or they miss it completely. But here's what's actually happening. It's not about the lips, it's about the mind. The body naturally moistens the lips in moments of anticipation. It could be because she's nervous. Yes, but not in the way you think. It's not fear. It's stimulation. It's her brain subconsciously preparing for intimacy or coping with how intensely she feels drawn to you. That small gesture, it's her trying to stay composed while her thoughts race. And don't box this into just sexual attraction. It's a sign of emotional regulation. You'll see it in intense business conversations, high pressure, social settings, and heated moments with real consequences. So whether you're across a table or across a bar, pay attention to the mouth. It speaks long before any words do. Sign 8, adjusting her clothing. Let's clear this up. Adjusting her clothes doesn't mean she's uncomfortable. That assumption makes you miss one of the clearest signals of attraction when she suddenly starts fixing her neckline, smoothing her sleeves, checking a reflection she wasn't interested in 5 minutes ago. That's not discomfort, that's intention. We pin when we want to impress. It's a nonverbal cue of impression management, of caring how you see her. It's what the body does when it knows it's being noticed and wants to look better, more feminine, more put together. And it's not always flashy. Sometimes it's the small tug at a hem, a sudden posture adjustment, or a quick finger run along a necklace. All quiet indicators that you've entered a mental space where presentation matters more than usual. The smart move: don't stare, just notice. Because if she's editing her appearance around you, chances are she sees you as someone worth the effort. Sign 9, open and exposed body position. Here's what most men do. They focus entirely on her face, eye contact, smile, expression, but the real message that's coming from the rest of her body. When a woman is genuinely drawn to you, she doesn't shield herself. Her torso faces you. Her legs cross in your direction. Her heart space stays open. You won't find her arms folded or her bag placed like a barrier. No, she opens, and the moment you notice her body naturally settling into that position around you, shoulders slightly rolled back, one side tilted in, even feet angled toward you. It's not random, it's spatial trust. It's interest without a single word. And in group settings, this becomes a superpower. While everyone else is busy reading faces, you'll know who's actually locked in, who's mentally leaning toward you, even if their words don't say so. Yet it's not just about attraction, it's about being able to read presence, dominance, and emotional alignment before anything is said out loud. Sign 10, touching her neck or collarbone. This one slips past almost everyone. A woman casually brushing her fingers across her neck, lightly touching her collarbone, or letting her hand rest just below it. It looks like nothing, but it's everything. That part of the body's exposed, delicate and rich in nerve endings. We instinctively protect it when we feel threatened. So when she touches it in your presence, gently often, without realizing, it's a sign she feels safe and possibly stirred. It's sensual without being overt. It's suggestive without being performative. And if she does it while laughing or right after you say something bold, that's your cue. You're no longer just part of the room. You're now part of her awareness. It's a primal gesture of openness. The kind directors use in romance scenes because it says more than words ever could. Notice it once and you'll start catching it everywhere. Sign 11, sudden increase in breathing rate. Most men see a woman breathing faster and assume she's just a little nervous, maybe shy. That's the easy explanation. But there's a deeper physiological truth behind it, especially when it happens in quiet moments when the conversation dips into personal territory or when you lock eyes for just a second longer than usual. Her breath isn't speeding up because she's anxious. It's because something's been triggered. Attraction. Real visceral attraction activates the sympathetic nervous system, the same system that prepares the body for excitement. The pulse shifts, the breath quickens, the body prepares, even when the mind is still playing it cool. And if you're sharp enough to catch this shift without calling attention to it, you'll know exactly when you've moved from interesting to magnetic. Also worth noting, this isn't just about dating. You'll see this same change in people during key negotiations, intense feedback sessions, or moments where something important is on the line. Breathing never lies. Sign 12. Glancing at your lips. You might think she's distracted. You're mid-con conversation, and she looks down right at your mouth, maybe more than once. This isn't zoning out. This is focus disguised as curiosity. When a woman glances at your lips repeatedly, especially when you're talking, she's picturing something, and it's not about your words, it's about proximity. That subtle shift in gaze is her brain, fast-forwarding to a moment she's wondering about, one she may never say out loud. If you catch it happening just before she speaks, that's her holding back. Not because she's unsure of you, but because she's processing what not to say. And in those moments, you're not just part of a conversation. You've become a thought she's editing in real time. The lips aren't just for talking, they're signals. And when she looks at yours more than once, you've already said more than you think. Sign 13, subtle swaying or movement toward you. You've seen it, but probably never assigned it any meaning. A woman standing nearby starts shifting her weight from one foot to the other, or she begins this barely there sway, as if she's adjusting for comfort. Most men brush it off, but that soft rhythmic movement, it's not for balance, it's biology. The body will often try to move closer without actually stepping forward. This swaying is a subconscious negotiation between caution and desire. She may not lean in, but she's mentally circling you like orbiting energy, waiting for permission. It's subtle, but it's intentional, especially when paired with focused attention or slight forward leans during pauses in the conversation. Her body is making micro adjustments to stay aligned with your presence. And the insight here, it applies far beyond attraction. That same physical pull shows up when someone wants your approval, your attention, your partnership, even in professional spaces. Learn to read it and you'll know who's trying to draw near, even before they speak. Sign 14, nervous but playful smiles. Nervous but playful smiles. There's a difference between a smile that's polite and one that's conflicted. The nervous but playful smile is one of the most honest expressions a woman can give because it's involuntary. It slips out before she can catch it, especially when desire meets self-control. Here's how to spot it. She smiles, breaks eye contact, looks down, maybe even bites her lip, then smiles again. That loop isn't shyness. It's her trying to process emotion without giving it all away. You're triggering something real, and the real giveaway, if she's typically composed, maybe even slightly guarded. This kind of smile betrays that you're getting under the surface. Not in a way that unsettles her, but in a way that excites her. It's a push and pull between what she feels and what she thinks she should reveal. And in that moment, she's not just smiling at you. She's reacting to you. That kind of smile isn't taught. It's felt. And when you see it, you've already made an impact. If you're still watching, drop the word decoded in the comments. It tells us you're part of the real ones. Bonus point, her voice changes around you. Most men get so caught up in what a woman says, they completely miss how she says it. When a woman's voice softens around you, when it turns slightly breathy lighter or higher in pitch, especially when she's not speaking that way to others, It's not just conversational style. It's attraction trying not to sound obvious. The female voice subtly adapts in moments of desire. It becomes gentler, warmer, and more rhythmically paced, like it's reaching out instead of holding back. And when that shift happens only when she's talking to you, that's a private signal. She doesn't even know she's sending. Thank you for sticking around till now. You're the reason we keep making videos like this. This bonus point is just for our real community. You guys who never skip, who watch with intention, and who actually get it. Once you notice the change in her tone, you'll realize it's not just conversation anymore. It's chemistry trying to be discreet. Let's quickly recap the 14 body language signs. Dilated pupils, flushed skin or cheeks lingering, touches leaning in, close mirroring your movements, playing with hair, lip, biting or licking, adjusting clothing, open body position, touching neck, breathing faster, glancing at your lips, swaying playful smiles. Bonus, her voice softens around you. Like this video if you found it valuable. It helps more men find it and supports our growth. Subscribe for daily intelligent insights like this. Share it with someone who'd benefit. Thanks for watching, and don't miss the next video recommended on your screen.